So welcome guys, I'm back with some more videos today to talk about a different scholarship, which I hope if you are new in this channel, I ask you to subscribe, and then a lot will be shared for this year 2025. And this is our channel with lots of content. We talk about scholarships, we give tips on how you can write and stand out out of millions of people who are applying. So I hope I will earn your subscription, and let's go for it. And today we are talking about the MEXT Scholarship, which is a Japan fully funded scholarship for people who are aiming to do a bachelor's degree, um, master's, PhD, or a research degree. So this is a great place for you to start. And as you can see here, it says MEXT Scholarship for 2026 Embassy Recommendation. So, and this scholarship is probably a very good one for those who are willing to go and study in Japan. So, if you just come to this website, it says that recruitment for those arriving in Japan in April 2026 or September, October 26 is made between April and May of the previous year. What does that mean? That you apply now to study next year in Japan. So you could take the chance and do your bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, or a research degree. And here it says that the first screening is conducted between May to June by Japanese embassies or consulates general. So this is the first element. You will have to do that through the embassy. Later I'll open here a link for you guys to take a look on some of the embassies around the world. But also in this website you can see the guidelines, which we will quickly see. Application guideline for research students in Japanese, and an application form is right here, which we will open and then take a look on it. Also, placement preferences form is right here, which you guys will need to open. Field of study or research plan, you will need to write it right here in this document, which we'll check. And certificate of health should be filled, as the recommendation says, by a professional medical doctor. And then here is the recommendation letter sample on how it has to be written or what it has to include in it. So you need to make sure you put all the stuff in that. So let's begin by going to the website of the embassy. So you just come here and you will see the embassies by country. All the countries are here, and the consulate or the embassies are in this place. So you just need to come and make sure you click. For example, I am from Mozambique. Let me just go to Africa down here. Okay, Africa is here. So I'm looking for Mozambique, and what you will need to do is just to come here and then open the embassy to see the location, because it's all you want, because probably you will have to send your application to them. So this is how the process works. Okay, so that's the first point, to know where your embassy is located. And the second thing is, here is the form, and this form you don't need to worry, it comes in English and at the same time in Chinese. All you need is to fill the form in English to make sure they can read out your application form. So it has pretty much everything we know about your personal details, which you will fill here. By just downloading, you will just tick the forms because it's fillable. You can just editable PDF, very good form of filling a form, a phone number and whatever you want. So all the details are contained in this form, which you need to fill, and then put your information about primary school and whatever field of specialization in the past you will have to write about, state and title, subjects, and all the things that you have done will be filled in this form, which is pretty much you need to, I think the bigger process will come from motivation, like what are the reasons why you want to apply for Japan. And if you guys want to learn more about how these papers are crafted, you just need to open this video here that is showing. I write about a different scholarship, but it's almost the same thing that they are looking for when you are writing a motivation letter, because they just want to know where the foundation of your bachelor comes from. So if you can feel all of those things, then you are probably ready to apply for the scholarship. So you have another question here which says, why you choose Japan as a destination to study graduate level education? Like, why Japan? And then, what kind of things do you think you can contribute to Japan and your country through your experience studying in Japan? Basically, these things I talk about all the time. How you can link between Japan and your country, because this is like they are taking you to go to study in Japan with the intention for you to improve your country. So there must be a mutual goal that is looked to be reached. So you need to make sure you do some bit of research and understand what are the objective of Japan in your country and what you want to study and how does that support both countries, Mozambique or your country with the Japanese government as well. Also, you will have to write whether you have some qualifications in English, whether you have done TOEFL or IELTS. You will have to prove right here, or other English test, which I don't think it might be a big deal. So that is it. So easy to fill this form here. Okay, so let's go to the placement. This is the form where you feel about your choices. According to what I can see here, your choices will have to be written here. It's just a one-page form that you need to fill the details about what are the order of your choice, why. So probably here you will just have to tick all these spaces. So easy. You need to fill in, and you have female or male, date of birth, and that your age, and field of study in Japan, what first one, and then detail the field of study in Japan, the university. You need to make sure you do some research so that you can meet what they want to do, and that might be really crucial for you. Also, you need to show here what is your first choice, name of the graduate school, and name an academic advisor if possible, and then second choice, whatever, until the third choice. So this is to help them to understand what is your order of your preference, and remember that the one you put first probably it will sound as your preferred choice. So you need to mind your university and whatever that comes with it. So that would be a very great idea. Also, we do have here that I only have obtained the letter of supervision acceptance should confirm the following. So all of these things need to be filled. Pretty much the form is also really easy. So here is a field of study research plan for those who are doing a research degree, willing to do a research degree. You will have to fill this form, read the information. Remember, all the form that you have to fill will always come in English and Chinese, so you don't need to worry. Chinese, no Japanese. I'm sorry, I've been speaking about the Chinese, but it's Japanese language. The past research theme and research plan, what do you have and what are you thinking of studying? Okay, so coming here, certificate of health, it has to be filled by a specialist, which I think you need to look at somebody who can fill this form and then sign it. That would be very crucial. Again, it comes in 2 languages. You don't need to worry to fill this form. So I hope you guys can deal with it. There's not much for you to worry about. Okay, coming here, this is the recommendation, how it has to be filled, what information has to be contained in this. Not a lot that you have to do. To the applicant, please fill your full name above. Give this form in an envelope, confidential, and addressed to yourself to the person asked to recommend you. To the recommender, please respond to the following questions. Recommender's name, title, institution, address, and all these things, telephone and email, during which period of how frequent contact with the candidate, you need to write what was the nature of the relationship the person has to write, in what area does the applicant need improvement or growth, the person has to write. Please comment on the applicant's interpersonal skill. How well does he or she work with a team? How would you describe the applicants? Pretty much, yeah. The person will have to check these three spaces. It says any other formats of recommendation later will be accepted, so you don't need to worry but they don't have this kind of structure. But this would be a great step to begin with. All right, let's move to the last part. Here it says the definition for those who want to know more details about what are the benefits and or the stuff. Am I not missing anything? Probably not. Okay, so you will have to read this form to make sure you understand before you go beyond filling the form of a Japanese application. So you will need to make sure you are part of those. So it says here applicants in principle must be born on or after April 2 of 1991. Exceptions are limited in some of the cases. Academic background, it says applicants must satisfy. Yeah, it says here applicants must satisfy one of the following conditions for admission for either master or doctoral course at a Japanese graduate school in which they wish to first enroll. Applicants who will definitely satisfy any of the following condition: master's degree, you have to have probably 16 years of education, which means 12 years of school and then 4 years of bachelor, then you are qualified. Applicants have completed a program with standard study period of 3 years or more also will receive acceptance. For doctoral, you must have awarded an overseas degree equivalent to a master's degree or professional degree. Okay. Doctoral course faculty of medicine, dentistry, veterinary science, or certain area pharmaceutical fields. They have to have 18 years of school, which means 6 years of after school studies. Just for those who are going for those areas. And you have to be willing to learn Japanese and be willing to learn more. You need to submit your certificate of health. You need to choose and fill the form and meet the student visa for a Japanese diplomatic mission located in any of the country we have just shown right in the beginning. Yeah, so these are elements of why you might not be eligible. So the grantees arrive in Japan during April term will be last up to April 2026 until the end of March 2028 for probably master's degree. Yes. Okay. Extension, scholarship benefits. This is what you will get. A supplemental regional allowance of 2,000 yen or 3,000 yen per month will be added to your monthly scholarship amount for the grantee studying and conducting research. Fees to the entrance examination, matriculation, and tuition at the universities are waived. The entrance examination, however, will be borne by the grantees if they cannot proceed to the masters. The traveling will be also paid on one route, probably because you are just going and then they'll pay back when you're coming. Okay, so transportation from Japan also will be provided. Suspension if you don't fulfill some of the elements. Remember that this is the timeline for the application. It says here around mid-April, which is next 23rd of April, application will open. The deadline for submission of the application document varies according to each Japanese diplomatic mission. Make sure you confirm the deadline on the website. It's very crucial. Around early May to late, first screening, the dates for the first screening and notification. Until September 1st, request for provisional acceptance for Japanese universities, very important. Around mid-September to early October, submission of placement from November, second screening happens. January, notification of results and university placements. So more details are here, guys, which I think you might be interested in them to read a little bit more and understand how the process occurs and what you are expected to fulfill as you go step by step. Very, very important to know, to be aware of that. Okay, there are lots of information that you guys need to research on before entering the process, but because you will require some of these elements. Okay. All of these elements need to be read before you start anything. So guys, I'm not going to go deeper beyond this. So if you want to know more, just look at other videos on how you can write your personal statement and whatever detail you might want to know a little bit before diving yourself into the process. And remember to be organized. Have your passport. If you don't have, go after it. Passport is just a document, but it will be very important on crucial occasions like these. Have your documents translated if they are not in English, because they can also have them in English if they are not in Japanese. Make sure you prepare yourself, ask for advice, ask for those who have applied for it, seek guidance. This is a whole learning process. You don't just expect to just win a scholarship if you can't prepare yourself. Preparation is the first step to winning. They say planning is also one step ahead, and not planning is planning to fail. So I wish you guys enjoyed this content. More details you can just see in the description below. I wish I have earned your subscription. Bye bye, and I'll see you next time.